Hey guys, so today's video is going to be on color correcting. I'm going to be using the NYX Color Corrector Concealer Palette, and I ended up choosing this one just because it's drugstore, it's easily accessible. So this specific palette comes with a yellow, a violet or lavender, green, and a salmony color, and then it has these two shades on the bottom. I thought that this one was a corrector, but then when I used it, it was very skin tone like, so I'm assuming that these two shades on the bottom are skin tone colors. I used this one time before this video and it just looked horrible. I had to wash my face off anyway, so basically technically still my first time using this. Now, I've always been into color correcting because I have really dark under eye circles, so I've always looked for ways to kind of conceal that darkness. I've always used peachy and orangey undertone concealers. So color correcting really isn't that hard. I'm going to try and post a picture of a color wheel somewhere on the screen here. So say you have redness on your skin and you need to correct that. So we'll go to the red on the color wheel and see what color is directly opposite of the red. In this case, it will be green. So green is going to counteract that redness. And same for people who have dark under eye circles like myself. To cover up that bluish undertone, you are going to go directly across and you'll find orange. So two shades that, I wasn't really familiar with was the yellow and the lavender shade. So yellow will kind of brighten up under eyes. Like if you don't have really bad dark circles, you can use that as a brightener and it'll just kind of brighten up the under eye area for you. And the purple is used to correct yellow undertones. But I'm assuming it's if your skin is kind of dull anywhere, lavender shade will kind of brighten it up. So that's pretty much how the color correcting works. If you're interested to see how I did color correcting on my face, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so to get started, I'm going to be using these 4 brushes. I purchased mine on Amazon. They were under $10, so I will try to link to them down below in the description box. They're kind of like the mini version of the bigger face brushes, like these. So they're going to be perfect for placing the color onto our face and to blend them out. I will say though that the only issue I have with these brushes is the handle kind of popping off. So I was telling my husband one day that I love the brushes. The brushes are super good quality, but the handle pops off. So he suggested to me to use wood glue, and we actually had an incident one time when we were moving our furniture. One of the pieces of wood that actually holds my furniture up at the bottom broke. So we used wood glue to put it back together, and it was crazy like how good it held it together. I still have yet to fix this brush, but once you put wood glue on something, it will never ever come apart. And wood glue is fairly cheap, so you'd be saving a lot of money on these types of brushes. So the first color I am going to use is going to be this salmony color. I wish that this color was a little bit darker. My main issue is my under eye dark circles. They are hereditary, so there's so much that I can do to fix it. I have always loved using orange correctors. I was just hoping that it would be a little bit darker, but it's fine. We'll just go ahead and go into this one. For my under eyes, I'm probably just going to take the angled one. And I do kind of take it low just because all this is so dark that, if I just do where it's dark, then it kind of just looks weird. Bringing it down kind of just helps it fade better. And then I do have some darkness right here on the corner of my eyes as well. So I'm just going to place that in a triangle. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. Alright, so this color will just kind of correct some of the blue and purple undertones in my eyes. That's kind of why I wanted more of an orange, because that truly does conceal. So I'm hoping that this color does the same. So far you can see that it's covered up all the darkness and stuff. So the next shade that I'm going to go into is the green, which is another really popular color to cover up redness. And we're going to put this green one everywhere where we get red. For most people, it is around the nose. And this one especially is really pigmented, this color. So I really like that. Then you can go ahead and put it anywhere if you have like acne scarring or anything like that. For the most part, I do have a little bit here and there. So I will just spot conceal where I see a little bit of redness. I don't want to go too crazy with this. So the next shade that I'm going to be using is the yellow one, and that will just kind of brighten some of the areas on our face. And when I think of the yellow one, I think of the center of my face to kind of brighten it up. So I'm just going to do a little bit on my forehead, or the center of my forehead. Down my nose. And a little bit on my chin. So the purple color is, or the lavender, violet, whatever color, is kind of one that I find tricky and kind of don't understand. So yes, it's to kind of cover up areas that are too yellow on your face, but I am yellow undertoned, so I don't quite understand. Am I supposed to put it all over my face? I mean, I like the yellow undertone in my skin, so I'm assuming it's somewhere like if you're a little too dark than other areas, which I have some of those, like around the corner of my mouth and in just this area in general right here. I'm a little bit darker than the other areas, a little bit more yellow, I guess we can say. So just to kind of try this color out, I'm going to go ahead and go on the corner of my mouth and a little bit right here. Alright, so now that we have all the colors placed where we want them, I'm going to use the same brush that I used for each color to blend it out. You want to make sure that you're using the same brush and not a different one, just so you don't mix up the colors and defeat the purpose of color correcting. So I'm just going to go in and do my under eyes. I'm kind of happy with this peachy one because I don't see any of the darkness peeking out. The next color I'm going to go ahead and blend is this green one. This might be a little bit harder just because it's so bright. So I'm just going to wipe off the product that was on the brush and just kind of blend this in. So the next one I'm going to do is the yellow, and again I'm just going to wipe off the excess product. You want to remember to keep the product where it's at, really not spreading it too much. You just want to kind of bounce your brush onto your skin, and that'll just kind of help blend it out, but also keep it where the product is at. So one thing I do want to say about this product that I'm noticing as I blend it in, I'm looking at the viewfinder and I look really, really ghostly. Now I know foundation is going to cover this up, but I feel like it's the undertone that's in these shades that's making me look so ghostly because they are such pastel-y shades. I just hope I don't look really ashy after I put my foundation on. So let's hope that the foundation covers this up pretty well. Alright, for my foundation, I'm going to be using my Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, and I'm in the shade Tan. Remember to stipple your foundation on instead of buffing it in, because then you're just going to erase all the work that you just did. So far, it's covering it really well. Green is a little bit hard to cover up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's still some peeking through on the sides of my nose. And I'm having to use a little bit more foundation than I normally do. I'm just gonna take whatever's left on my brush, not picking up extra product, and just kind of run it on my under eyes. Overall, the foundation did cover all of the color correcting. I used a foundation that was a little bit darker on me. I used this shade in the summer, and I still feel like my face is a little bit lighter than my neck. I guess I can go ahead and fix that with powder and bronzer and all of that. So I definitely do not like the ashy tone that this left my skin in. I thought the foundation was covering it up, but I still look a little light. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my under eyes. I'm gonna use a mixture of the Instant Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline in Brightener and the NYX HD Concealer in Beige. And the only reason I was using the Brightener shade is just because this one's a little drying. So I just kind of wanted it to not feel so dry on my under eyes. That's why I just added that. The peachy undertone did do a good job in concealing. I still wish that it was more orange. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So overall, I did end up really liking this palette. Color correcting is definitely not something you would want to do every day. There might be just one color or two colors that you use on a daily basis just to kind of correct some problem areas. I do feel like you need to use a little bit at a time. If you use too much, it could probably end up looking a little ashy. So color correcting was definitely a hit. It gave me a really flawless looking face. Everything just looks really nice. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.